Hey, everyone. We're going to have a great session. Have you ever wondered how people are getting and landing a lot of clients through podcasting, being a guest on a podcast? Well, we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about it from this aspect of the do's and don'ts of being a podcast guest. Okay. So sit back. We're in our group. Again, as always, if you have any questions, put them below the video. Let your people know that we're going to be talking about this and share it with them. I'm going to real quickly go over to the group and share this out. Let me see, make sure my volume's good. Okay. Okay, everything looks good. Let me see. All right, so we're good to go. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. The do's and don'ts of being on a podcast. We're just going to talk briefly. We're letting in YouTube to check us out, and we're on LinkedIn. But let me just make a working definition so people know what a podcast. A podcast, in my opinion, my working definition, is a tool or a medium that you can share your message with the world. That's what my definition is. And also, what we need to know is there are different types of podcasts. There are video and audio, and some are just audio. I have a podcast, which is Dr. Renee Sunday Podcast. We're syndicated. We've been in existence a long time. I started off in radio, probably in 2012, 2013. And then we moved over to podcasts. We used to do all our podcasts live. Now we're 100% pre-recorded, which most podcasts in this world right now, at the time of this recording, that's what we do. Most of them are pre-recorded. Also, there are 1.8 million different podcasts. I mean, there are podcasts on small business, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, mompreneur, makeup artist, basket weaving. Oh God, I could keep going. Landscaping, crocheting, everything that you could think of. How to be a billionaire, how to be a millionaire, business secrets. I mean, it just goes on and on. So you actually have a platform that you could be listening to gain a lot of information. I love listening to podcasts. I think I listen to a lot because I'm in marketing. So I listen to the Facebook ads. One, of course, I listen to a lot of the billionaire podcasts. Of course, I listen to my own Dr. Renee Sunday Show Podcast, which is entrepreneurship and motivation. I listen to the ones in ministry. Oh, the list can go on and on because I'm a forever learner. That's why I see it myself, because I have so many businesses. I'm a anesthesiologist for 21 years at the time of this recording. And then also I'm a coach. I'm known as the platform builder. So what I do is I help business owners increase visibility and get leads for their business. So I need to know about lead generation. So you got to always nurture your craft. A lot of people come and say they don't know how to market. They don't know how to get sales. They don't know how to pivot. Well, do you really know your market? Do you really know the people that you're serving? Okay. But we're going to talk about just 3 things that the do's and don'ts of being a podcast host, a guest. I guess I could do a statement on host too. So that may actually be a aha moment. The first thing is, being a podcast host, you really, really need to do your due diligence to research what they podcast is about. What is their mission? What do they stand for? What are their guidelines? You need to do that. How are you going to do that, Dr. Sunday? Well, first of all, you found the podcast you want to be on, you want to pitch to, right? So usually they got a link there that you can listen to one of their podcasts. Actually, I advise you to listen to more than one, because you need to know what their format is. You need to see if it aligns with your mission, your moral standards, the things that you stand for in life. So you have to do that. Okay. So I think that's the most mistake that a lot of people do when they want to be on a podcast and they pitch a podcast. And even when they get on a podcast, they don't even know what the podcast is about. They don't even know what the format is. I mean, that saves a lot of time, because me as a podcast host, I kind of assume that you know what my podcast is about, right? So when we get on the podcast, especially when we do our pre-recording sessions, I do kind of let you know how that session is going to be, but you already know that we stand for entrepreneurship and motivation, right? You already know that. So I don't have to you should know that. Let me put it that way. You should know that. Okay. So the number one, let me put it in the chat. Number one is know, that's the do's you gotta do. You got to know what the podcast is about. Okay. So you need to know what it's about. You need to know its format. You need to know how to pitch. You need to know all those things. Okay. So you need to know what it's about. That's number one. Then number two, you need to find out if it's a cost. Is it a cost to be on their platform? Because nowadays, since so many people are listening to podcasts and everybody's doing Clubhouse, now you have to really, if they really increasing your visibility and your exposure, it's a guess what? It's a fee attached to that, because they're not just putting you on the podcast. They are advertising, quote unquote, for you, because they're sharing it on social media. They have you in their database. They have, right? So it's worth it. All exposure is worth it. Okay. But the majority at the time of this recording, most podcasts are free, but a lot of them now are charging for you to be on their platform, because they are giving you exposure. Now, if you get one client out of the exposure on their platform, you may have changed your whole price structure, right? What if your price point is $15K? It was worth that podcast, right? It has happened to me many times. So the first thing, if you're just coming in, we're talking about the do's and don'ts of being a podcast guest. Number one, you need to know what they stand for. You need to know what the podcast is all about. You need to know what format you need to know about the host. The second thing is, do they cost or not? And it's up to you to know if it's worth it or not. I've been on several podcasts. You kind of wonder, was it worth it? But any exposure is worth it, right? What value are you putting on it? Okay. And then the last thing is, do you know what, let me see. How should I say it? I'm going to say be yourself. Be yourself, because the thing is, you will shine and you will represent your brand better by being yourself. When I say be yourself, is you need to show emotions, your normal emotions. I teach my clients what to say and what not to say on a podcast, because some things you shouldn't be saying on a podcast. Some things you shouldn't be saying in regards to representing your brand. Okay. Right. That's true. Now, we talked about the do's. Let's talk about a couple of do not. Okay, number one, and if you have any questions, let me know. The do not portion is, guess what? The do not is, you got to make sure, please respect their brand. I'm going to put it, their brand and the host. I have a lot of people, it was kind of early in my career in podcasting, that the guests try to overtalk the host. That's not that's not good. Now you'll be on that bot. They may not even air it because you just was out of order. Now, if you do that on syndicated TV, they're not going. You're not going to get called back, and they probably will not going to air your episode. Okay. So be mindful that you're on their platform. When I was on Oprah Winfrey's platform, Bishop Jake platform, the NFL platform, when we be on their platform, we don't tell them what to do. We go by their guidelines. Okay. That's guidelines in regards of using a logo, the guidelines of even saying their name publicly. all of those things. Okay, so be careful with that. Just do how you would want someone to represent your brand. Okay, now the second thing is, when you're a guest, make sure you have a lead magnet. Now you guys got several videos. If you're in my group, our group is called Get Visibility and Leads for Your Business on Facebook. Join us if you're not there, and you can find out. You'll find out what a lead magnet should be. I've seen people in the group say that they not having sales, they having trouble with marketing. Well, the thing about it, what's your lead magnet? What's your lead magnet? Even though the pandemic, you should be able to pivot. Let's say, for example, you're a makeup artist or in the beauty industry. Well, people still are getting makeup. They still get makeup for photo shoot. They still get makeup for weddings. They still get makeup for different special events that they have at their home. And we still need to know and be educated on beauty tips and beauty skills, right? Because what you could do is have a seminar or have a Facebook Live and talk about the beauty tips that you do. And then, of course, you can have a consultation. So you can still have a consultation over Zoom or any of these platforms, and you still making revenue. So you have to be able to pivot, especially if you're in a city that may not be really doing photo shoot and all this stuff. Now, I'm here in Atlanta. They still doing photo shoot. People still getting married every day. People still need makeup every day. Okay, so you have to be in the mindset of be able to pivot. You know your industry, especially like insurance. Insurance shouldn't be an issue right now, right? Because everybody's looking at their policies. Everybody need an evaluation. So you shouldn't have any problems with not having clients. Okay. Now, of course, every client may not resonate with you. That goes with the territory. But you should have your lead magnet, your funnel, your visibility profit plan all together. Now, if you don't have any of those, contact me. Just inbox me on any of the platforms, and we can help you with that. Okay. Just send a DM, a message on all, and we'll jump on the phone. Okay, so we can see what you need. Okay, now, so that's number 2. We talk about the do's and don'ts again of being a podcast guest. Okay, number 1 of the don't is, we say you need to know. I mean, what are we doing? You need to know their brand and respect their brand. Respect their brand. I think I made a typo in it, but what I meant was please respect their brand. Number 2 is, what's your lead magnet? What's your lead magnet? And number 3, what is your follow-up? Okay, you've gotten these people on your email list. What is follow-up? What's your follow-up? How are you going to follow up with them? A lot of time, and I've been guilty of this myself, is we got to email people. And yes, people will unsubscribe every time you send an email out. Let's get over it and keep it going. Because the people that really want to hear from you, they'll open the email and they'll read it and they respond. What people are not telling you, a lot of these gurus that's making a lot of money, is they making money from a list that they are nurturing. They're making a list from affiliate partners, people that they have partnered with to help them make sales. The key that they don't tell you is, guess what? Most of these people that they referring you to, guess what? They're already groomed as buyers. It's a big difference of people that have invested before in other products, right? Versus someone that never have really bought anything off social media, anything offline. Now, of course, they've done Amazon, but that's different, right? Because Amazon been around. Amazon has billions of dollars for marketing. But what about us as small business owners? So I need to get that too. I'm getting more involved. And I was at one time, but I'm getting more back involved with affiliate marketing and with that. Of course, it's a revenue share with that. Of course, that goes without saying. But it's much easier to make a sale with an audience that's used to buying. That's a whole nother concept. Okay. Yeah. But I just wanted to come in to let you know about the do's and don'ts. We've done 3, and go back and review this video. If you have any questions, please put it below the video. If you're ready for a visibility package, so we can get you out in the media, let us know. This is our website, reneesunday.com. But the easiest thing nowadays is just DM us. Just DM us on the different social media platforms, and it's under Dr. Renee Sunday. over on Periscope is Renee Sunday 1. Okay. So just DM us and we'll take care of it. But what we really want to do is make sure that you make profit. Make profit. Okay. You got to make some profit. So we got to get off our bottoms and do some work. We got to do the work. You got to have a mentor and coach, and you can make it happen. So I just want to let you know you can do it. You can do it. You do have what it takes inside. You got a calling, you got a blessing, you have a business. So what we got to do is consider these 3 things. We have to believe it and believe in ourselves. We got to trust the process, and we got to walk it out, meaning we got to do something, and we got to get a mentor, a coach. All right. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.